Hey guys, Jason with CV Custom. So today, my brother has a 2020?
19.
It's 2019 Gen 5.
Yep.
Gen 5 2500. And he got these neat little American flag lights that go in here. And he told me that there's no video on how to put them on. So we're going to walk him through it and do a video and see if the Gen 5 guys get any help with it. Because I don't have anything for Gen 5 Dodges. And you know I have a passion for the Cummins, so kind of stuck on Dodge. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so this is the LED flag. It's gonna go right here. So we're gonna get to taking that off. All right, guys, step one, we just pop off the emblem. You wanna go ahead and get it off?
Yeah, let's see if she can get them off.
So it looks like it just pops off.
Oh yeah. There she ain't.
Okay, she's off. Let's take a look at what we got going on there. Okay, so after it's off, you can see we got a lot of dirt we need to clean up. So we'll get that cleaned up. Again, the flag just sits in here and it's got LED lights. It's gonna go on with some 3M tape. So let's clean it up and put our light on. Okay guys, so before we get to the cleaning, the LED bar that goes behind it, it's also just 3M, and it's gonna set right inside the hood right there. We got to get it all clean for it to stick, but we wanted to check where we're going to route our wires. And you see there's a hole right here, so we can get the wires through, tie everything together, and then we'll show you where all the switches go. It's all on the driver's side right there by the battery. Because this truck has the auxiliary switch thing. I think most of the Gen 5s have it. So, all right, now we know how our wiring is going to go. We're going to get this cleaned up so we can put it in. The other sides, just do it the same way. Okay, guys. My brother and I are both veterans, so we just thought it'd be important to point this out. The flag does not go this way. This indicates that you're retreating because you're going in reverse and the flag's waving this way. The flag is always this way because we don't retreat. Just a side note, but now we're going to clean it up and get ready to stick it on. Okay guys, we might be upside down, but wanted to show you what comes in the kit. We got some extra stuff. You do have to get some extra stuff. Number one, you're going to need some wire. You're going to need some butt connectors. We use the butt connectors with the shrink wrap on it. Makes it a little simpler. You can just use the butt connectors and then put shrink wrap on it, but I like it when it's already there. So here's what comes in the kit. Your two LED bars, two screens. This is your pigtail manifold, right? So it splits off, goes to each light, but we've got to get one light all the way across to the other. So this is how we're going to set it up. This will be on the driver's side. We'll plug that together. And then we'll plug this guy together. Goodness. It's hard to do trying to film. Okay, so now we're plugged together here. This is going over to the passenger side. This plugs into the end here. And then you've got basically power and ground. It's going to go to your switch, I think. There we go. We got two wires that come out, go over to our switch. Now, what we're going to do here, we'll take one of the LED bars. This is what we're going to splice in and extend it. So we'll put it where we want it on the hood. And then we'll run our wire all the way through the hood, and we can actually keep the wire inside the hood so you don't have any hanging wires on the outside. And then it'll tie on again under the hood. The only thing coming out will be the two wires right here that we tie into the switch on the driver's side. You'll see that when we get there. So let's go ahead and get the thing on the truck. We'll start by splicing and extending our wire for the passenger side. Okay guys, bear with me, but I'm trying to show you what I'm doing here. So we need a 4-wire in the 20 gauge here, but I had 2-wire. So what I did was on both ends of this loom, I just put a piece of electrical tape. Now you can get a 4-wire loom and do it your way. I cut 2 lengths, what I needed, so I can splice it together, and this one has the electrical tape on each end, so I know that the red and green on this one are not going to correspond to red and green. So my red and green for the first wire with no black tape. I'll put to the red and green on the opposite end the same way. The other one, I'll use the black and blue wires for the electrical taped wire, and I use the two 2-wire looms instead of one 4-wire loom. So if you're going to do the job and you want to do it with a single loom that has 4 wires in it, make sure you have that on hand. I had a big roll of the 2-wire loom. That's why we're doing it this way. So this is real simple. We're going to take right at the middle and just cut this in half. Okay, that's both of them. Now, these dikes, I can do little cuts here. And I just do that to start it to split. You can use your fingernails, pull it apart. Now you've got your 4 wires where you can access them. I'll do the same thing over here. See if it'll pull apart without it. Oh, it does. May not even need to start it, so there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to butt connect the 2 looms together to give that an extension so that the passenger side will reach over and plug into our pigtail. So I'm going to get that going, show you guys the finished product, and we'll show you how we wire it up so we can get the video done. I know you guys are interested in seeing these lights, so let's get it going. Okay guys, so just real quick before we finish, we're using the butt connectors for this gauge wire, right? But it's also got the shrink wrap on the end of it. So I'm going to show you guys how we do the shrink wrap before we do the other 2 wires. Remember, the other 2 wires are not going to match. I've decided to use green with black on the second wire because green and black are generally ground. It's easy to remember green and black on the auxiliary wire, but remember, if you just get the 4-wire loom, you can do it all in one shot and you can coordinate your colors. That's a cat. Okay, now you saw threw a bunch of fire at it. The important thing is just to get the shrink wrap to heat and seal up around the wire. Wire is good to go. Now we're going to do our other 2 with the second loom, and it cools down really quickly. If you're worried about the heat shrink, don't worry about it. We'll get the other loom done. We'll start putting it in the truck. Okay, so we've got our extension ready. Casey's got the wire ties. We're going to snake the line through. So this is just tie wire, and we're going to snake it over to this side. Got it? And then we'll use this wire to pull the wire through, and we'll tie it up. So we'll get back to you guys when we got it through. Okay, so now with the wire ran, we put a little bit of brake parts cleaner on the cloth because we want this super clean. I don't recommend spraying brake parts cleaner on the paint, but a little bit on the cloth, and you clean it. That's just going to get all the oils off because we got to get that 3M to stick right there. Okay, so the passenger side is set. We did go with the wire going this direction. It comes around. It's a little hard to see in there, but it's on nice and tight. Now we'll get the driver's side done. Now we're not going to put the flag on until we test the lights, because if we have to do anything in here, we don't want that 3M stuck on. We will not get it off. Let's get to the driver's side. Okay guys, so we ran into a little bit of an issue trying to figure this out. So there's an arrow. Turn that just a little bit. No, just like that. See the arrow? That arrow goes to black. And if you look on the pigtail, volt positive, so V plus, is black. Make sure the arrow lines up there. Everything else kind of fits together the way it should, but you need to know that that goes there. And then tape it up. Okay guys, so now again, remembering our arrow, right? I think we just talked about that. But you see, this is our pigtail tied onto this loom setup, and then we extended our 2-wire loom that comes off the bulb connector here. We gave ourselves plenty of room. My brother's pretty tall, so that's a lot of room. Now we're going to plug that onto the driver's side. The only thing coming into the engine compartment is this 2-wire loom. Let's see how it works. Okay guys, so we got light, and my brother wanted solid green. Now he also wanted it to be on his auxiliary switch. So you can see right here, that's where you plug into the auxiliary switch. Now this is the coupler. We have to get a special pigtail to go into that, and we're going to do that, but we don't have that right now, so we just used a regular spade to plug in and then tied the ground to ground. It's operating on his auxiliary switch. Now Casey, tell them what you did to make it go green. So I'll tell you guys right now, when we plugged it in and turned it on, the driver's side was blinking red green, the passenger side was blinking green, and he tied onto the app. What'd you do with an app?
I just set the color on the app. So the app's connected to this light strip, selected the color I wanted, and it stayed green.
Super easy?
Easy.
Okay, so apparently it's easy, and the instructions at least told us how to do that with the app. Now it's all green. Let's put the cover on and see how the flag looks. Okay guys, before we close the hood and throw the lens on, we did put loom right here. Again, once we tie it into the plug, it'll be a lot cleaner. And that is because he wants it to be on his auxiliary switch, not on his running lights. So that's why it looks like that. But it's very clean. You close it, and it's just the wire loom. No big deal. So now we'll close the hood, and we'll put the lenses on and test it. Okay, guys. It's on, and honestly, I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it looks pretty sweet in person. This truck's actually green. That's why he wanted the green light. Apparently you do it on the app, whatever. I didn't do it. You like the video? Subscribe and keep watching. We do a bunch of this stuff. And apparently we're probably gonna do a lot of stuff on this truck because now my brother bought a new truck and now we're doing new stuff. But let's just turn this around. We got a 67 Camaro that we're gonna do a lot of stuff on. So keep watching. Thanks again for showing up, guys, and I appreciate it if you made it to the end of the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.